My name is Emily, and this is my story. I grew up in a small town and accepted Jesus into my heart at a very young age. My grandma was a faith-filled woman, and she was a huge influence in my life. Throughout my life, I feel like I've always known Jesus, but growing up, I found myself in a couple of toxic relationships that led me further away from the Lord and into a depression. This led me onto the party scene. At a certain point, I was so lost, I almost had forgotten who I was. I ended up getting into such a low point that I knew things had to change. So I walked away from the people and the choices that weren't helping me become a better version of myself. After I did that, I ended up meeting a few people who became very close friends who are all Christians. I started attending church more often, but I still wasn't ready to fully surrender my life to Jesus. I was continuing to rely and feed my addictions, thinking I needed these things to help me function. But I also knew who I was. Doing these things that I was doing were wrong, and I needed to give all my addictions to the Lord because He is my strength. I felt so lost, not knowing how to move forward, so I continued to pray that Jesus would help me overcome my addictions. I believe He brought someone into my life to remind me who I am and the strength I have to change through Jesus. That day, I told myself that this was going to be the last day I would surrender to my addiction and fear. After I left that life behind, I gave everything to Jesus Christ and promised myself I'd never go back, but that I would continue to walk forward with the Lord. And since then, I go to Jesus for everything I need. In my ups, my downs, my faith has never been so strong, and I know God's light is so present and shining in me. He is the only way, and I know that now. I'm ready to leave everything behind and live the rest of my life walking with Jesus. And that is why I'm here today, to publicly declare my faith and commitment to Jesus through baptism.